Hey guys, it's Michelle and we're at Grant Brothers Gym and I'm joined by UFC welterweight Sean Pierson. Now, you're fighting at the end of the month, UFC 129, but that was kind of in jeopardy earlier this week as your opponent Brian Foster had to back out because of an MRI showing of a brain hemorrhage. What was your reaction when you found out the information about Foster?
First, I was upset for myself, and then I started to realize, for me, it's like Brian that I should be upset for. You know what I mean? Finding out you've got a brain hemorrhage is pretty serious, and I know he's a family. He's got 3 kids, so, I've got a son myself, so I felt more for him at first, going, okay. So I gave him a call, just, get healthy soon, you'll be back. And then, obviously, that next came me, where I'm like, okay, I don't have a fight right now. And, I know the UFC was trying real hard, but there wasn't a lot of guys that were either healthy or training or, suitable opponents that they wanted me to fight. And, now we got one. We got Jake Ellenberg, so it's a big step up for me. And, I'm getting ready to go to war.
Absolutely. Now, during that, I guess, the couple of days of transition time, did Joe Silva and Dana White kind of reach out to you and just tell you, listen, we're doing as much as we can and there's going to be a good possibility of you fighting, or you kind of didn't really know of, I guess, the chances that you were going to be fighting still? Yeah,
I talked to Joe Silva, and they were trying. I knew they were trying. It's just finding an opponent. It was tough because he said a lot of guys are injured right now, or they're already scheduled for fights that, they can't take someone else's fight away and give me one. So it was getting difficult. We were getting down to the last bit where he's like, okay, we need to get somebody quick. And he was like, well, listen, we got Jake here. I know he's a real tough opponent, especially last minute. He's been training. He's in shape. And, I don't – this is history for me being on this card. So I didn't want to lose that either. And without risk, there's no reward. So I'm like, let's take the chance, and I take on Jake.
Absolutely. Now, Jake is, like you said, a big step up, too, in competition. He's got a ton of experience compared to Brian Foster. Just how have you, I guess, changed your game plan heading into the fight, knowing you only have about 2.5 weeks to prepare now for Jake?
Well, there's not a ton that I can change. The truth is, most of our training is done by now. It's about being in shape. So now it's just about working with different strategy a little bit, trying to check out Jake's style a little bit. What are we going to do to counteract some of his, because he's a real aggressive guy, good wrestler, powerful striker. So I've just got to make some adjustments. But again, you do what you do. So when I go in there, it's still a fight like anybody else. And again, you got to put it on the line if you want to get anywhere in the sport. So I'm going to do it now.
Now, your first fight in the UFC, you were a last-minute step-in, and now Jake is going to be the last-minute step-in against you. What kind of, I guess, advantages do you think you'll have, and what do you want to take advantage of against Jake?
It's funny, people think that, but there's not that much advantage, especially because at this level, I know Jake's been training. It's not like Jake took this fight without being in shape. No one's that silly. So I know Jake's been training for a fight, or he's been helping someone else get in shape. So Jake's going to be in great shape, no question about it. So I don't think, everybody's like, oh, well, Sean's had an 8-week training camp and he hasn't. No, he's had a training camp. He's in shape, ready to go. So it's a big difference for both of us. We both are fighting some guy on 2 weeks' notice. Yeah. That's how it works for both of us. So I don't think there's a huge advantage either way.
Now, it was initially reported that after Jake's last fight that he had injured both of his hands. Obviously, he wouldn't be taking this fight, but do you think maybe that's going to be in the back of his mind, having just over 2 months to recover and then just a couple weeks' notice coming into the biggest event in UFC history?
No, again, I've watched Jake fight. I'm a fan of his. I've watched him for a long time. He's a great fighter. I don't think he would take fights if he wasn't ready. And, he might have a couple broken knuckles or something like that in his last fight. They heal up pretty quick, especially if he's getting the right therapy and everything. I'm sure he's ready to go.
Now, UFC 124, which was your debut in Montreal, 23,000 people. Now it's going to be over double that, 55,000 people in your backyard. What are the emotions like going through your head right now? Like you said, most of the training's done, so now it's the mental game.
It's going to be in all our heads. It's funny. Everybody's like, how's it going to affect you? How's it going to affect you? It'll affect us all, in one way or another, because none of us have ever fought in front of a crowd this big. You just deal with it. To me, it's still about me and competing with the guy in front of me. And I think a lot of us, we like the pressure, because that's why we're in this sport. Having that many people watch you do anything is pressure. So a lot of us thrive off it. So we'll just, we both go out there and perform our best.
Also in your UFC debut was a great 3-round war with Matt Riddle. The fans voted for the GSP Koscheck fight to be fight of the night, but Dana White said that your fight should have been. Did that give you just, that much more confidence heading into this second fight here?
It gave me confidence. I still wish the fans had voted the right way to give me that $100,000, but no, it's good that we got noticed by the higher up. So it's good. I'm pretty sure if someone told Dana White Sean Pierson, at least he's like, oh, I think I remember that guy. You know what I mean? It's not like, who's that? Yeah. So it was good in that sense, and it was great that the fans appreciated a fight because, when you put everything on the line like that, you want people to, like what you're doing and to be grateful for what you just did in the ring. So it was good times.
Now, you're age 35. You've been in the game since 99. Just what have you learned over the years, and how do you think that experience will help you heading into 129 on April 30th?
I've learned to try and not get hit, but, it's the toughest part of the sport, but to me, you got to outthink the guy in front of you. You know what I mean? I can't always be the best athlete. I'm not always going to be the most skilled, but I can always try and be the smartest. And that's really the key to mixed martial arts, is just try and have the better game plan, be a smarter fighter in there, and take advantage of that.
Now, obviously, everyone in Toronto and Ontario has been looking forward to this day for many, many years. What can they expect from Sean Pierson on April 30th?
Oh, you're going to see a war. That's the only way I know how to fight. So anybody who's watching me fight realizes that, most of my fights end in the first. If not, we have the Riddle fight. I go out to fight, and I just want to put on a show for everybody. And, again, I'm just not fighting for me. I'm fighting for everybody. I fight for my family, my friends, my trainers, my fans, everybody. I just want to go out and everybody to enjoy what's going on out there because it's an entertainment sport. It's a sport, and it's entertainment as well, so I hope everybody enjoys the show.
Absolutely. Good luck on April 30th. Thanks so much for doing this, Sean.
Thank you.